And I am very excited this morning because we were able to get an interview that nobody has gotten today.
A truly legendary guest in the studio
One of
today.
a kind. He's making his only media appearance today. It's Santa Claus.
Hello there, Amy. Hello, Greg.
Welcome to Somerset 106. This is your first time here.
It is, actually. It's my first time being here. It's great to see you guys.
We are the Christmas station, so what do you think of our studio here?
I like it. As soon as I got within range, I went ahead and started, I keyed it in on the sleigh. So 106.1 FM. That's correct. I was listening to the right station, correct?
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
You were.
Do you have GPS on the sleigh? I'm just curious. You know, it's a modern era.
Yes, it is modern era. I have GPS. Back in 1985, I installed a flux capacitor on the sleigh as well. That way I can bend the space-time continuum as I am wont to do.
This is the busiest day of the year for you, so we're glad you were able to take a few minutes to come in and talk to us. What's this year been like for you when you are not working on Christmas Eve? What are you doing throughout the year?
Well, this year was a little bit different. We had one of the machines go down in sector 1138. So we had to try to find some reinforcements to get some more elves. And so that was a little bit difficult for us this year. But in a normal year, it's not really that bad. I'll be honest with you. I don't do a lot of work myself. I oversee the work. I'm like, for example, you could consider me a manager. I just kind of have other people do the work for me. I don't really do much of anything.
You also talk to a lot of kids at Christmas time. What are kids wanting for Christmas this year? What have they been telling you that they want?
Top of the list, I'm going to say iPad. That's been top of the list. Girls have wanted an American Girl doll named Sage. That's been the go-to gift for girls. Well, iPad is as well, but mostly American Girl dolls for girls. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have made a comeback this year. You'd be amazed at the amount of children that have asked for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I love them.
Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo, Raphael, they've asked for all of them.
Do you have enough of those toys to go around? You say everybody's wanting an iPad. What does it take to get all that together?
Well, we made a deal with Apple. I'm not going to lie to you. We don't like to talk about some of our contract negotiations, but we have some help. Let's put it that way.
You are in such demand. Everybody wants Santa.
Everybody wants a piece of my time. Everybody wants a piece of the Claus.
Everybody wants a piece of Santa. Do you ever get tired of being Santa Claus? Do you ever just want to be a regular person and blend in with everybody else?
You mean like have a normal 9-to-5 job?
Yes.
Nope. Not at all. I mean, well, it's my job is really fun when you get right down to it. I get to bring joy to as many people as possible. For those that haven't been good during the year, of course, we give coal. Of course, with energy prices what they are this year, that's not a bad deal if you think about it.
Santa is known, you are known for being happy and jolly all the time.
Oh, very much so.
Do you ever have an off day where you just forget stuff and your mind is in a different place and you have a bad day? Does Santa ever have a bad day?
Well,
do you disappoint people ever?
No, not ever. I don't think I've ever disappointed anybody. There'll be some disappointed children this year. Instead of coal, everybody on the naughty list gets signed up on Obamacare. Oh, that was just a little joke.
What's the most difficult part of your job? Is it the travel? Because I can imagine getting around the world in one night would be difficult.
The travel is a little difficult. It does take quite a long while. Of course, you've got different time zones to take into consideration. And like I said, I do actually have a flux capacitor on the sleigh. So once I get that sucker up to 88 miles an hour, I'm able to bend the space-time continuum, and it's not as bad. But that is, time away from my family, time away from Mrs. Claus. And the elves do depend on me as well for moral support, for leadership. So it is tough being away from them sometimes.
What does Mrs. Claus do? Speaking of Mrs. Claus, when you're away, how does she help you prepare for Christmas?
She makes a lot of cookies. That she does. She's a very good cook. She's a wonderful lady. There's another one too. We've been married let's see, 720 years now.
That's a long time.
That's a very long time to be married. So we have a little bit of a situation worked out to where, we don't see each other a whole lot, but when we do, it's quality time.
Santa, thank you so much for coming by this morning. We're going to talk more with Santa Claus when we come back. And did you bring your sleigh this morning? I didn't hear you come in. Is it outside?
Oh, it is out. It's actually up on the roof.
Up on the roof.
Well, you won't be able to see it. There's a cloaking device on it so that I can avoid NORAD and surface-to-air missiles.
So no one knows. If they didn't hear you now talking to us, they wouldn't know you were here.
They would have no idea. Cloaking device on the sleigh, they would have no idea that I'm here.
We're going to have more from Santa Claus when we come back. We only have a little less than 2 days of Christmas music left. Greg, I'm going to miss the music, minus Dominic the Donkey. We're talking with the real Santa Claus this morning on Mid-Mornings with Amy. Happy Christmas Eve. We are so excited that we get the only media stop for Santa Claus this year. He has stopped by our studio to talk to us for just a little while before he gets on his way on what is for Santa the busiest day of the year. And you're a little relaxed this morning, Santa. You're always in the suit, but you've taken off the suit jacket this morning to get a little bit more relaxed to talk to us.
Well, it's a little warm in here, so I thought I'd take the suit jacket off at least and make sure make sure I don't burn up too bad. It's that problem happens to me. Of course, also I'm on my way to the Somerset Mall as well to greet some children there. But when I'm there and it gets a little bit warm outside, if it breaks 55 degrees, it's a miserable time for old Santa Claus. So yeah, not having the jacket on right now makes all the difference in the world.
What about the beard? Because your beard is real, and you don't get to take that off.
No, I did not get to remove the beard.
Does that ever get a little complicated? The beard, it's really a lot of beard there.
It is. It does get a little complicated for any sort of task you can imagine. Riding in the sleigh, of course, the wind whipping through my hair. Also, Harley-Davidson motorcycles are a little bit difficult to ride.
We offered you some cinnamon rolls earlier, and it was going to be hard for you to.
Well, yeah, I appreciate the offer of the cinnamon rolls, but like I said, it's ever since this happened to me, I was flying along somewhere over Minnesota, and a flock of seagulls. Not the band, but an actual flock of seagulls flew by in Minnesota, as they are wont to do. One of them hit me right in the face and got stuck in the beard. It was it made for a bad Christmas Eve. But I'm fine now. But still,
well, that's a pretty bad experience.
It was.
But can you think of probably Santa Claus's worst day? Because again, you're happy and jolly, and we all think of you as someone who never has a bad day. Tell us about the worst day that Santa Claus has ever had.
The worst day I ever had, and it was that I remember it like it was yesterday.
Which for you could be 200 years ago.
Right. When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not. Because I mean, tell you, it's this happened in 1929, and we had. This was in Sector 2427, and the machine for the new dolly that year, it completely went down, and so there was no way that I could get those dolls to everybody on the planet. So pretty much everybody got a boy's toy that year, and it was
even the girls, and it was difficult to explain, but we by now it's been forgotten about, obviously, but that was a bad day.
I have something I'm real curious about with Santa Claus.
Sure.
I know you said that you've been with Mrs. Claus like 720 years or whatever.
Yes.
Yet it seems to me that having access to unlimited toys, having a vehicle that can go all over the world in a single night would have the potential to make Santa something of a ladies' man.
Well, that's very true. But I'm a one-woman man,
Good
Mr.
for you.
Moore,
Good for you.
Mr. Greg Moore, and Mrs. Claus has frankly, she's put up with a lot over the years. And, me not being there all the time and everything and such. So, I'd like to reward her with, her being the only lady in my life.
There's somewhat of a mystery to Santa Claus. What What's something about Santa Claus?
What do you mean, like I'm a secret agent or something?
No, there's just a lot of mystery around you because you get to every home in the world in one night and leave exactly what the kids want for Christmas. What's the biggest misconception or the biggest secret that you have, Santa?
Let's see. The biggest secret that I have, the biggest misconception that I have is that I'm fat. I'm not what you call fat. It's more pleasantly plump is what I like to call it. That's a big misconception. Is folks think I'm huge, but I'm not. I clock in at about 350 pounds. That's not big.
Well, now that you've taken your suit jacket off, we're able to see your physique a little, and you're not heavy at all. You are.
No, not at all. Look at this. Look at the Christmas gun show.
Our listeners can't see that.
They can't see that. But I let you look at my guns because, my goodness, my arms, because it takes a lot of strength to lift all those toys.
He can fit down a chimney. I mean, chimneys are not big.
Well, actually, Mr. Moore, not a lot of people know this either. It's the matter transducer that we have on the sleigh. I go ahead and put that into high gear, and actually it bends me and puts me into the chimney. And some folks don't have a chimney, so I have to be able to fit under nooks, crannies, anything.
Well, you look good, Santa.
What now?
You look good.
Well, thank you very much. You look very wonderful as well today, my dear. You look like you belong in New York City. You look very nice today.
Thank you very much. What will you do tomorrow? After the busiest day of the year for Santa Claus, what do you do?
Oh, they didn't come up with the phrase "long winter's nap" for nothing. I'll take quite a nap. I'll probably Saturday morning or so. I'll probably do some sort of update. We've got a radio broadcast up at the North Pole that sometimes I do, and that sometimes we update the elves on the situation and how the season went. So I'll be doing that then on Saturday.
How many elves do you have?
Oh, 3,521.
Do you know them all by name?
Oh no, I forgot. 3,520.
Did something happen?
Well, not that it happened. It's just that we're trying to go a different direction with some of the other. But 3,000.
Downsizing of the elves.
A little bit, yeah, which is kind of ironic if you think about it.
We're talking with Santa Claus this morning on Mid Mornings with Amy, the one and only Santa Claus, who's making some stops in Somerset today. So when we come back, we'll tell you where you can find Santa Claus, the real Santa Claus. We're so happy that he is here. We'll be right back.